This is not science fiction. Belgian researchers' new contact lens, which is basically a small curved LCD display which projects images wirelessly, such as road directions and text messages, from your smartphone directly to your eye. It also can be used for cosmetic purposes, allowing you to change the color of your eye to suit your mood. Italian police on Friday raided the Milan offices of US social media giant Facebook over possible violations of tax laws. Facebook Italia has 11 employees and had gross revenues of over 2 million euros in 2011. More than 35,000 holiday-themed rubber duckies from China were detained by the U.S. Homeland Security at the port of Los Angeles. The ducks, dressed as snowmen, gingerbread men, penguins, and reindeer, which had a value of almost $20,000, were confiscated, determining that they contained the chemical phthalate in excess of the limit, which may be harmful to children. Phthalates are used to make vinyl and other plastics soft and flexible. From the cheese state, Wisconsin, a father of 9 children with 6 different women owes nearly $100,000 in back child support. He was ordered by a judge to 3 years of probation and not to have any more kids until he can pay for them. The Urapa vercosa, sometimes called the warty crab or yellow crab, found in the Black Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and Eastern Atlantic Ocean, is now listed in the Ukrainian Red Data Book of Endangered Species. The species is threatened by fertilizers and sewage that have been introduced into the aquatic system, as well as pollution. A Virginia woman is being sued for $750,000 after she publicly lodged complaints about a construction work that was performed by a contractor on her home on the popular business websites Yelp and Angie List. She accused the company of damaging her house, trespassing, and stealing jewelry. Bottom line, she wrote on Angie's List, do not put yourself through this nightmare of a contractor. Well, it looks like the nightmare is not over yet. I think almost everybody can remember the Trayvon Martin shooting in Florida. Well, most recently, the lawyers for George Zimmerman have filed a lawsuit against NBC Universal Media over editing the 911 tape that portrayed George Zimmerman as racist. This is how NBC News portrayed the audio tape. Zimmerman: this guy looks like he's up to no good. He looks black. But when all reality, the full 911 tape went like this. Zimmerman: this guy looks like he's up to no good. Or he's on drugs or something. It's raining and he's just walking around looking about. 911 dispatcher: okay, and this guy is he black? Is he white or Hispanic? Zimmerman: he looks black. NBC saw the death of Trayvon Martin not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity to increase ratings, states the civil lawsuit. The recent United Nations Kyoto Summit established for the first time that rich nations should move towards compensating poor nations for losses due to climate change. It encourages rich nations to set aside at least $10 billion a year to compensate poorer nations. Police in White Settlement, Texas are searching for a man who was initially arrested, handcuffed, put in the back of the police cruiser, who then escaped, stole the police car, and got away. If you don't believe me, watch the video. Topping this week's breakdown countdown is the U.S. federal government, who helps grow and ship in heroin.
The Taliban finances much of its operations by selling opium, which is grown from poppies, which are right now being harvested. So here's the question: why are American troops now helping Afghan farmers grow that opium? Nick Schifrin reports from Afghanistan on a controversial new policy.
In western Kandahar, poppy farmers score, till, harvest their crop, and the Americans do nothing to stop them. U.S. soldiers greet farmers.
Can you show me which poppy field is yours?
They commiserate with farmers having a bad harvest.
Tell him I'm very sorry for his field this year, and hopefully he has a better harvest next year.
And in one case, they even paid a farmer $1,000 after U.S. and Afghan special forces burned his crop.
If you can come down to the base or on my next visit, I'll make a payment.
This is controversial. The opium trade is the Taliban's main source of funding.
Around here, this poppy isn't only a plant, it's the very basis of the economy here. Poppy grows everywhere in this area, and most of the farmers base their entire income for the entire season on this harvest.
And that's why soldiers ignore and encourage the farmers. If the U.S. burned their crop, farmers would blame the U.S. for their poverty and turn toward the Taliban. I'm not going to lie to you, this farmer says. If my poppy were destroyed, I would be very angry.
If we secure them having a good harvest, now they're going to get paid for all their hard work, and then we can deal with the trafficking afterwards.
And that is the new U.S. policy. After farmers get paid, try to capture drug traffickers. These troops have confiscated 10,000 pounds of opium before the profit reached the Taliban. One day, the U.S. hopes to convince farmers to choose legal crops. Until then, the seeds of the insurgency will continue to grow in these fields. Nick Schifrin, ABC News, Kandahar.